good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another video. My name is Denise Dominguez, and I help you heal from the toxic relationships. Thank you for joining me. I help strong women coming out of toxic partnerships and help them move past their frustration, doubt, and fear so they can confidently move into new and healthy relationships. And in this video, I'm going to share with you about forgiveness. Forgiveness seems to be a struggle with a lot of us. And so I want to first give you some clarity on it. And I want to help you move into the forgiveness, because forgiveness is one of the key points of healing. So once you can forgive yourself, the other person, the experience that happened or didn't happen, once you can forgive that, then you open up space to let what you actually want to come in be able to come in, okay? So, and this is something that I apply to my own life. Once I, forgave my ex-husband for all of the traumas and dramas that he did, destroying our family and all the stuff that I was blaming him for, it changed my life entirely. Once I forgave my sisters for being who they are, and my mom and all of that, it changed everything for me. I feel so free inside, and that's what I want for you, and that's what I'm going to give to you today, that feeling of freedom, okay? So let me record my time. All right, got to keep track, because otherwise I'll be on here forever. All right. Also, remember to smash that like button if you like these videos, and also subscribe to my channel if any of this is helping you. I upload a new video every single day. So if you want notifications, then hit the bell icon, and that way you'll get a ding when I upload. If you don't, that's totally fine. Just subscribe to my channel, and you'll be here with me. And I love you, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay. This book right here, honey, this book right here, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, is a Bible. I always recommend this book, and I'll put the link to this book in the description below. For you to, if you want the print version, you can get this on Amazon. You can also listen to it on audio, and it's on YouTube. Any which way, this book. So this book is the first glimpse of forgiveness that I was exposed to, I guess. And I want to read a portion to you, because this, I can't even tell you all of the amazing things that this book has provided for me, my clients, my audience, you who I share with. It's just really just, I can't even put it to words, really, honestly. All right. So the first thing I want you to know about forgiveness is forgiveness. A lot of people think that forgiveness is about giving permission to the other person. It's okay that you were shitty to me, and I forgive you. The other thing is people think that if they forgive that person, that means they allow them back in their lives. And no, that doesn't mean that at all. Forgiveness is for you. It's for you to release yourself out of your internal prison, okay? So when we hold on to these grudges, I'll use myself as an example, okay? If I was still to be holding on to the grudge of what my ex-husband did to us, our children, destroying our family, the reason why I moved here to North Carolina, which I have nothing to complain about that, but if I was to sit here and blame him, and I'm not in Florida right now because of you, I'm wearing long sleeve clothes because of you, I hate you, look what you did to me, look at the life that I have now. I can't imagine saying that, but when you hold grudges to other people, you are literally hurting yourself. Because my ex, he's not listening to this. He's not suffering in the way that I would be suffering. The other person is not suffering the way you're suffering. The other person's just going on with life. So forgiveness is for you. It's to release yourself out of your own internal prison. That's what forgiveness is. Now, when you release and you forgive somebody or a situation or whatever, this does not mean let that person into your life again. That does not mean this, because then that is giving them permission. Like, you treated me like shit, or you did X, Y, and Z to me. So, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to forgive you. And then it's like when we lend somebody money and they don't pay us back. We're like, all right, whatever, you can have the money. Okay, whatever. And then they ask for money again and you give it to them again. So when it repeats itself again, that's your fault. You let that happen. So when you forgive, it is for you only. When I give exercises to my clients, it's for them only. When we write letters and stuff, it's for them only. It's not to give to the other person. This is nothing to do with the other person. So I just want to really make that abundantly clear to you, that this doesn't mean let that person back into your life who did you wrong, okay? But at the same time, you want to let go of what happened so that you can release yourself from that internal prison, okay? And let me know if you have any questions about that. Put in the comments below if you have any questions about that. I'll be more than happy to give you clarity if it's not resonating. Okay, so in this book, The Mastery of Love, there is a piece on here, forgiveness, and I just want to read it to you really quick, okay? Okay. So he's talking about our wounds, right? And if you follow me, then you know I talk about our open wounds too. Here's the truth. We're all wounded, right? We all have these internal emotional wounds. And part of healing those emotional wounds is forgiveness. So he says, once we open the wounds, we're going to clean the wounds of all the poison, right? That's when you hear me talk about emotional poison. How are we going to do that? The same master gave us the solution 2,000 years ago, forgiveness. There is no other way but forgiveness to clean the wounds of all of the poison. You must forgive those who hurt you, even if whatever they did to you is unforgivable in your mind. You will forgive them not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because you don't want to suffer in your hurt, in the hurt yourself every time you remember that they did what they did to you. So it doesn't matter what others did to you. You are going to forgive them because you don't want to feel sick all of the time. So if you notice that somebody who is unforgiving, holds grudges, like I had somebody tell me the other day, and I don't forgive. This is somebody from my past. And she was like, I don't forgive. And I said to myself, that's so sad, because I know the life that she has. That's so sad. Forgiveness is for your own mental healing. You will forgive because you feel compassion for yourself. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. Let's take an example of a divorced woman. Imagine you have been married for 10 years, and for whatever reason, you have a big fight with your husband over a big injustice. You get divorced, and you really hate your ex-husband. Just hearing his name, you feel strong pain in your stomach, and you want to throw up. The emotional poison is so strong, you can't stand it any longer. You need help, so you go to a therapist, and you say, I am suffering so much. I am full of anger, jealousy, envy. What he did is unforgivable. I hate that man. The therapist looks and says, you need to release your emotions. You need to express your anger. What you should do is have a big tantrum. Get a pillow, bite the pillow, hit the pillow, and release the anger. You go and you have the biggest tantrum, and you release all of those emotions, and it really seems to work. You pay your therapist $100, and you say, thank you very much. I feel much better. Finally, you have a big smile on your face. You walk out of the therapist's office, and guess who's driving through town? As soon as you see your ex-husband, the same anger comes up, but even worse. You have to run to the therapist's office again and pay another $100 for another tantrum. Releasing your emotions in this way is only a temporary solution. It may release some poison and make you feel better for a while, but it does not heal the wound. The only way to heal your wound is through forgiveness. You have to forgive your ex-husband for the injustice. You will know you have forgiven someone when you see him and you don't feel anything anymore. That's what I call like the charge. You don't have that charge anymore. When I talk about my mom or my sisters or my ex, I don't have that anger anymore. I don't have that charge. I don't get emotional, any of that, because I healed those emotions that I had towards them, the anger that I had towards them, the animosity, all of that. I healed all of that. So I can, I get on stage and I talk about how my ex-husband, did X, Y, and Z. And it's the things that I share with you and share with people is things that I used to first, I wasn't even able to express that because there was so much hurt and pain around it. But if I did try to, these are things that I couldn't even utter 3 words without the ugly cry coming out because it was so emotional. And that's what he's saying here. All right. You don't feel anything anymore. So you can talk about that other person. You can see that other person. You can talk about the situation that you went through without that charge. You will hear the name of that person and have no emotional reaction. When you can touch a wound and it doesn't hurt, then you know you have truly forgiven. Of course, the scar is going to be there, just as it is on your skin. You have a memory of what happened, of how you used to be. But once the wound has healed, it won't hurt any longer. So that's just a piece of the forgiveness part in The Mastery of Love. I highly recommend this book. I use it with my clients. I still do to this day. I use it all the time. It's such an amazing book. And that is, for me, the way that book clarifies and like chunks down the benefits of forgiving is so important and digestible. For me, that's why I love it and I share it with everybody because it truly was a game changer for me and my clients. So, all right, so forgiveness. What I'm going to do in the description, I am going to give to you a forgiveness package that I created. So what that includes is a forgiveness coaching call where I talk all about forgiveness, how to forgive. I believe there's an exercise in that. Then there's a forgiveness workbook that also asks you questions about forgiveness. You got a journal on that, and then also a forgiveness meditation. Here's the thing about working through your emotional wounds and why forgiveness is such a huge piece to this. There's other pieces, self-love, truth, and trust, but we're talking about forgiveness right now. The reason why forgiveness is so important is because let's get into a bigger aspect of holding on to grudges, right? Because people are always like, let it go, let it go. Well, letting go is a part of forgiveness, right? You let go of what happened or what didn't happen, you let go of it. So let's do the opposite. Let's hold on to that grudge. So I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to think of something that still upsets you, still angers you. Okay? What feelings come up for you when you think about that? Okay? Now I want you to know that what you're thinking about, everything you think about, you're manifesting inside of your body. So when you're constantly thinking, whether it's from your conscious mind or your unconscious mind, constantly thinking about all the crappy things that were done to you, all the things that were said to you, the shitty childhood you had, the abuse that you went through, whatever it is, it's like boiling water. Okay? And what happens with boiling water? Eventually it boils up and over and it spills out everywhere. That's the same thing that's happening inside of your body. When you're constantly thinking about the injustices that happen to you, this is manifesting inside of your body. And this is where diseases come up, dis-ease comes up. This is where diseases like autoimmune diseases, cancer, stomach issues, okay? Remember, women hold their stress in their stomach, men hold their stress in their back, okay? Everything inside of you manifests outside of you. This is another reason why forgiveness is so important, okay? Because if you're looking outside of your world and you're going, oh crap, I really struggle in relationships, or I really struggle in relationships with my family, okay? I really struggle with money. I really struggle with a career, a job. Maybe in your career or your job, you keep finding yourself with narcissistic bosses or narcissistic coworkers. You keep getting teamed up with these narcissistic people. Everything in your outside world is a direct reflection of your inside world. It's telling you what you need to work on, okay? And so this is why I talk about forgiveness throughout everything. Every private session I have, every group coaching session that I have, every, when I have talks, my books, all of it, I talk about forgiveness, because this is the core piece to what you need to have and do on a consistent basis. And here's the other thing about forgiveness. The reason why we hold grudges is because we have been taught how to take things personal, okay? So another example in the book that I share with people is two moms are at the playground with their kids, and their little kids are playing on the playground. The two moms are maybe sitting on the bench and just chit-chatting, and the two kids get into like a little tiff. You took my sand bucket. No, you took my sand bucket. And they fight over it, whatever. So the two children run up to the two moms and they say, so-and-so took my sand bucket. No, he took it. He hit me and da, 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 da. And so then the moms, because this is when we get into adulthood, we've now been covered up with all of these layers of muck from all the things that we've been taught from generations and generations. The moms get mad at each other. Well, your child hit my child. Well, your child hit, your child hit my child. And then the moms get into it, and then they hold the grudges and they don't speak to each other. Guess what the children do? They go back over there, they figure it out, and they start playing again. Because that's who we really are. That's who we really are. We are born forgiving. We're born forgiving. Okay, little children don't hold grudges longer than 10 minutes, little children, but through growing up, through our environment, we're shown how to hold grudges. We're shown how to take things personal. Well, I will never let anybody hit my child. That's unforgivable, right? And so because we've been shown that years upon years upon years upon years, story after story after story after story, then it's like a rule. It's like an inside rule that we have. So when you do me wrong, I'm not going to forgive you for that. You're dead to me. I'm never speaking to you again. You've heard that term. I know you've heard that term. A lot of people use that term. You're dead to me. And so they don't speak to that person anymore, and now they're holding that grudge because what you've done is unforgivable. I can't forgive you. Now listen, I know that a lot of us have gone through some really, really shitty times. And I'm not saying that you don't give a voice to what's been done to you and you don't acknowledge what's been done to you. But I will say, for your own mental and emotional health, you have to forgive what's been done to you. There's no other way. There really is no other way. So I always share with people that I could sit here and bash my ex all day long and tell you all of the things that he did to me, all of the cheating, all of the, diseases that he gave to me while I was pregnant, all of the everything. Just, it goes on and on and on. I could, but what good does that do? That just has me harboring that emotional poison inside of me, which now what I'm doing is I'm releasing it out, and it makes me feel better for a minute because I'm telling you about it. But what happens, especially when the other person is like, yeah, he was really this and he was really that. Yeah, it makes me feel better for a minute. But then when we walk away from our discussion, when I'm laying in bed at night or in my quiet time, that story is playing in my head. And again, when we're playing these painful, hurtful stories in our subconscious mind, everything outside of us is a direct reflection inside of us. And so this is where we can manifest a dis-ease in the body. Okay? You're going to hear me repeat these things. I'm going to say these things over and over for you because I want you to really, really, really get what's going on. I want you to understand everything happens for a reason. I want you to understand why you were born into the family, why you've gone through the experiences that you've gone through, why you married, so-and-so, and then you married another copy of, version of that person again, why you're single, why you're divorced, why you're married, why somebody acts like this, why you keep going through jobs, all of it. I want you to really, truly understand. And clarity is power. So you're going to hear me repeat things over and over again because I want you to get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. And when you hear things over and over again, this is how we tap into the subconscious mind. So yes, everything outside of you is a direct reflection of what's inside of you. So if you keep attracting narcissistic people in your life, and you're very triggered by these people, then that tells you a lot, right? It tells you that you're still taking things personal, right? My nose runs every time I do these videos. Every single time. And here's the thing about taking things personal. There's many layers to taking things personal. First of all, when you don't take things personal anymore, there's nothing to forgive because you know that other person, it's about them. They're shitty. So there's a part in this book that says, if you're walking down the street and some stranger comes up to you and says, you're stupid, and walks off, how would you respond to that? Most likely you would just go, what a weirdo, or you're stupid, or you wouldn't take it personal because that person doesn't know you. There's no emotional connection to that person. But if somebody you're related to says the same exact thing, what happens? We get set off. We take it personal. How could you say that to me? Why would you say that to me? You're stupid. We get angry. We respond, right? So how can you get to a place where you're not taking things personal anymore? Forgiveness is one of them, and also realizing that what other people say it's their own internal stuff. It's not yours, right? Somebody comes up to you and says, you're stupid. Why would you take that person when you know you're not stupid? When you know that you're smart? Why would you take that personal? Okay, so then this ties back into the trigger. And I want to do a trigger video for you, completely on triggering and understanding triggers and really uncovering the layers of all of the triggers, because that's really important. And I know that that's one of your issues, is still being triggered by these narcissistic people, even if they're not in your life anymore. I have clients who are still dealing with ex because they had children together and they divorced at a very young age. And so they have to go to court every couple of years, and there's still some triggering there. So I'm going to do a separate video on triggers. But for now, I just want you to realize that when you get to a place when you're not taking anything personal, then you don't get triggered anymore. you won't get triggered anymore. And there's no need to forgive anybody because there's no grudges you're holding, because you're not taking it personal, right? When somebody comes up to you and does something, stupid or uncalled for, you're not reacting the same way as you used to, okay? So all of this is about healing the past, healing the emotional wounds, healing the crap that was done to you, healing whatever was said to you, or the crap that wasn't done to you. Maybe there was things that you wish had happened. Maybe mom and dad promised to pay for your wedding and they didn't, things that didn't happen. Whatever it is, healing. Give yourself the gift of healing. And that's why I'm going to give you this forgiveness package, which consists one live coaching call that I did with my clients, all on forgiveness. The whole topic is forgiveness. One workbook that comes with it, again, that asks you the questions. Remember, the answers are in the questions. When you ask yourself a question, that's when you get your answers, right? But questions that you may not think to ask to yourself. So that's what I provide in the workbook. And then the third thing is a meditation, a forgiveness meditation, right? How do you let it go? How do you just let it go so that you can feel better, right? Letting go is so that you can feel better about yourself, about the situation, learn from the situation so you never repeat the situation. That's what letting go is. So the meditation is a 12-minute meditation, and it's a forgiveness meditation, and it's all about letting go. And I give you in that meditation a really amazing video that I just came up with myself. Being an 80s child, there's a song called 99 Red Balloons Go By, and I used that song for this video. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps me grow my YouTube channel. And as always, yes, subscribe to my channel. In addition to that, as always, I love to hear from you. So put your comments, share your comments in the comments below. Also, if there's any topic you would like to hear from me, please let me know in the comments below. And remember, when you share, you help the world. You really, really do, because somebody's going to read your comment, they're going to resonate with it, and it's going to help them. All right? So today is Christmas Eve when this video is being recorded. So Merry Christmas, and I will see you on the next video.